If all goes as the ruling BJP has planned, the first bill to be turned into a law in the new parliament will be the Women's Reservation Bill. It has been passed by the Union Cabinet and is being debated on the floor of the House. The bill seeks to reserve one-third of the seats in Lok Sabha and state assemblies for women. After tabling the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, or Women's Reservation Bill, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said it will strengthen democracy and further our resolve of women-led development. Currently, India has 78 women MPs in the 545-member lower house. It is about 14% of the total membership, and the government wants to make it 33% now. But does this ratio reflect in other spheres too? According to the Centre for Monitoring Indian Economy, India's labour force participation rate, or LFPR, declined to 39.5% in the financial year 2023 from 40.1% in FY22. The participation rate for men stood at 66%, while that of women was pegged at a mere 8.8% in financial year 2023. The LFPR is the share of the working age population that is employed or is looking for work. The periodic labour force survey for Jan-March also indicates a similar trend where female LFPR across all age brackets has been significantly lower than males. Further, as per International Labour Organization data, India's female LFPR stood at 24% in 2022, lower than its South Asian peers like Pakistan at 25% and Bangladesh at 38%. At 24%, India's female LFPR was also lower than its BRICS peers and the G7 economies in 2022. Even Bangladesh and Pakistan were ahead of us. A host of reasons have been cited for this. Conservative societal norms and gender pay parities are a few among them. Safety concerns, inability to take action against harassment at work, or inaccessibility to sectors that are mostly male-dominated, like manufacturing, also pose barriers to women entering or retaining employment.
So things have definitely become better, but I can say that they are not really again the best, because if you look at a recent judgment, it's a May 2023 judgment. Over there as well, the Supreme Court has observed the same thing, that most women don't report, they would rather leave the job. So, and this we are talking about 2023 observation. So the majority of the segment of the society still does not feel comfortable to report it, because there is so much stigma and just the sheer amount of, I think, challenge associated with bringing up a concern, which could be a lot to do with even the mental pressure that it might take on a person. Along with that, all the taboo and everything else that might come from society as well.
A recent report pointed out that the overall regular wage employment fell substantially during the pandemic year 2020-21, wherein women accounted for 50% of the jobs lost. Formal jobs, however, as a share of regular wage work, increased parallelly. Yet, women constituted only one-third of the said increase. Meanwhile, media reports revealed earlier this year that of the 2,041 companies listed on the National Stock Exchange, only 100 have women as a managing director or a CEO.
This is symptomatic of what really happens with women who, even if they're joining at the entry level, because of various reasons, again, society, commute time, family issues, and sometimes employers, they opt out. When it comes to career progression, it's very difficult for these women after a break of 5-10 years to come back and make up for that loss in the corporate ladder. More often than not, that's why you're seeing that while even if you're improving the entry-level diversity, the mid and senior level is getting compromised.
A 2018 report by ILO revealed that around 82% of the total working women in India are concentrated in the informal sector. A lot of surveys analyzing women's participation in the workforce fail to capture the extent of women's participation in the informal economy, and therefore much of the work they engage in, like domestic work, construction, street vending, etc., goes unaccounted for.
The first step is, keeping gender aside, can we unleash a formalization tsunami in the economy, which essentially uplifts the conditions, status, stature, dignity of everyone, including women? And it's a fact that because labor mobility for men is higher than women, that's the reason you will find women choosing to stay back in their villages, and they end up taking up a lot of the informal work.
Women participation in the workforce has indeed improved over the years. Several initiatives by the government, like the 4 labor codes, will help women in the informal sector. But the new laws are still hanging fire and are unlikely to be implemented before the upcoming general elections. Experts, meanwhile, argue that women's economic mobility requires a multifaceted approach that addresses challenges on all fronts, whether socio-economic, educational, or political.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
She's working her way to the corner office. Business Standard.